Today I'm going to talk about HSBC Revolution and give you 3 reasons why it's possibly the best miles card to use right now. Also, watch on till the end for some important things to look out for when you use the card and how I'm personally going to use the card to get miles for my next business class trip. If you follow my Telegram channel, you will know that HSBC has recently bumped up the card to now include in-person contactless payments as well as travel-related expenses. Basically, HSBC is reversing quite a few of the nerves that were applied to the card throughout 2024. On top of that, they are also bumping up the spend cap of the card to $1,500 per month, up from $1,000. If you aren't already subscribed, do join the channel so you can get updates and deals to earn more from things like your credit cards and savings accounts. Oh yeah, this video is not sponsored by HSBC, but if you want to get the card, please consider using my link, and there are rewards for both new and existing HSBC card holders, so check out the description box for more details, and thanks for keeping the channel going. Now, if you're wondering why this is such a big deal if HSBC is just restoring old features to the card, we have to consider what is happening to other miles cards. And that brings me to the first reason why HSBC Revolution is one of the best miles cards to use right now. Number one, other cards are being nerfed. When you talk about a card being good or bad, how other cards are doing will definitely make a difference. Is a 3 miles per dollar card a good card? Probably not. But what if every other card now only offers 2 miles per dollar? This is essentially what makes HSBC Revolution a strong card now. Other miles cards have been getting nerfed pretty badly over the past year. For a card you can use offline to pay for most things, you now need to pay a hefty 1% fee to use City Rewards on Instagram and Maze. For online transactions bigger than $1,000, DBS Women's World Mastercard is going to reduce its spend cap from $1,500 to $1,000 from 1st August onwards. For offline transactions bigger than $1,000, UOB Visa Signature is going from $2,000 monthly cap to $1,200. For travel expenses above $1,000, UOB Lady Solitaire is going down to $750 per month for a single category. So not only is HSBC Revolution undoing some of the nerves that made it not so good, it seems to be directly responding to each major nerve by bringing back its 4 miles per dollar earn rate on contactless payments, travel payments, and it has increased the spend cap to $1,500 per month. After the nerves kick in for the other cards, HSBC Revolution becomes uniquely good for certain scenarios where other cards fail. There's a little asterisk to place here, of course, and that is that this is a time-limited promo from 1st July to 31st October 2025, but I wouldn't worry too much about this because of the second reason. HSBC currently waives conversion fees and HSBC points can be transferred in very small blocks. Now, HSBC has waived conversion fees for this card indefinitely, which means cardholders can transfer their HSBC points to airline miles absolutely free of charge, while most other cards charge $25 plus GST for conversion. Also, HSBC allows you to convert points in very tiny blocks of just 2 miles as long as you meet the minimum conversion amount of 10,000 miles. This means that as long as you can hit 10,000 miles worth of points, you don't need to worry about having leftover points in your account. For instance, if you manage to get 22,000 miles with HSBC Revolution over the next few months, you can transfer all of them out without any wastage. Many other banks need you to convert in blocks of 10,000 miles. So if you have 22,000 miles, you can only convert 20,000 miles with 2,000 miles left behind. So that can be an annoyance that does not apply to HSBC. Combined, both the lack of fees and small conversion blocks mean that the switching cost for us to use HSBC Revolution during this 4 months is very low. If HSBC decides to extend the promo, we can continue using the card. If not, we can just convert the miles out when it ends and then go back to using whatever card that is best at that time period. So if you're concerned that this promo is time limited, I personally wouldn't. I don't think it's a concern unless you really can't hit 10,000 miles over these 4 months, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. That's about $2,500 of spend spread across 4 months, and even after 4 months, if you really can't get that amount, you can still count on the card for online purchases as usual. Now, the third and possibly the biggest reason to use HSBC Revolution would be that the points can be converted to a variety of airlines, and yes, that includes EVA Air. Now, I've talked about EVA Air, especially during the last time where City Rewards was nerfed, and I said that paying 1% for Amaze just to use your City Rewards might be actually worth it because of how versatile the points are. But now you don't have to pay that 1% fee because HSBC points can be transferred to EVA Air, and you can use HSBC Revolution to pay for your in-person contactless payments. Now, I definitely talk about EVA Air quite a bit, especially since the last time City Rewards was nerfed, and I said that paying 1% for Amaze may in fact be worth it to continue using City Rewards, but now you don't even have to pay that 1% fee because HSBC points can also be transferred to EVA Air, and if you need a refresher on why I love EVA Air miles so much, just look at this table from an article I've written on my website. For a one-way trip to Japan or Korea, you need 52,000 KrisFlyer miles, while you just need 40,000 miles with EVA Air's Infinity Mileage Land program. For Europe, it is 103,500 miles on KrisFlyer, but just 80,000 miles with EVA Air. And for USA, it is 107,000 to 111,000 or so miles for KrisFlyer, and just 97,500 miles with EVA Air. Just to be perfectly clear, these are for the exact same flights on Singapore Airlines. You're not taking EVA Air for these flights. This video is brought to you by Poems by Phillip Capital, which is giving away lots of goodies as part of their 50th anniversary celebration. There are lots of welcome gifts to receive, so just follow these easy steps. Simply open an account to get 50 SGD stock coupon for Philips Sing Income ETF, Coca-Cola or Nvidia, no trade or any minimum funding required. Next, fund 3,000 SGD and complete 3 buy trades for 50 SGD of fractional shares, fund 10,000 SGD and complete 5 buy trades for 150 SGD shares, or fund 50,000 SGD and complete 5 buy trades for 300 SGD fractional shares and stock coupons. Also, risk-averse investors can choose to put funds into Smart Park for up to 150 SGD of additional rewards. On top of these fantastic sign-up rewards, you will also enjoy 0% sales charge on unit trusts, 0 US commission for up to 90 days, and free live pricing and SGX market depth to get more insight into the markets. See the description box for full details and find out why Poems has been a preferred choice for investors for half a century. Thanks for signing up, and special thanks to Poems for sponsoring this video. And these aren't just theoretical rates, because I myself managed to book 2 tickets on business class via Singapore Airlines to Europe earlier this year, and I saved so many miles, right? More than 40,000 per person. And in fact, availability seemed better than on Singapore Airlines. I booked these flights 1 month before my trip. So check out my post for more details if you're curious to the itinerary as well as how I did it. Now, some people think that I'm talking about EVA Air flights when I talk about these lower rates, right? Which is actually also doable, and in fact even cheaper for regional flights to places like Taiwan, which is just 50,000 miles for a return trip in EVA Air's business class. So points earned by HSBC are very valuable, just like my Citibank points and my Amex points, because they can go to other airlines for cheaper business class flights, even if you like Singapore Airlines. In fact, since the flights are around 20% cheaper, I think it's fair to treat HSBC Revolution's earn rate as closer to 4.8 to 5 miles per dollar, rather than the 4 miles per dollar most cards are at. So even though this is a time-limited promo, I'm very happy to use this card for however long the promo lasts, so that the points I earn here can go to airlines like EVA Air. Now, there are a few caveats you need to first take note of, and the first would be that when it comes to HSBC points, the conversion ratio is not as good as before. Earlier in January 2025, HSBC points convert to KrisFlyer at a lousier ratio. Previously, like most, if not all the other banks, the conversion ratio was 25,000 HSBC points to 10,000 KrisFlyer miles. After the change, it has become 30,000 points to 10,000 miles, which is quite a poor ratio. So if you're going to insist on KrisFlyer miles only, HSBC Revolution will be closer to a 3.33 miles per dollar card. It's still better for larger purchases after the other cards I mentioned earlier have their spend caps reduced, but personally, I think that using your HSBC points for KrisFlyer miles is a bit like going to a buffet and eating rice, right? We should really be using our HSBC points for airlines like EVA Air. In fact, when you have points from HSBC, Citibank, Amex, American Express, please reconsider KrisFlyer miles and look at other airlines like EVA Air instead, because of the miles savings I've talked about earlier. Another thing you should take note of are a couple of important merchant category codes that are not included in HSBC Revolution's 4 miles per dollar earn rate. The first is 5814, which is for fast food restaurants, and this is quite an omission even if you don't eat fast food, because many places that look like restaurants, they charge like restaurants, they are somehow coded under fast food or 5814. So HSBC Revolution will not get 4 miles per dollar at these places. So when using this card for dining, you have to check the MCC with Amex to make sure that you don't lose out on your points. Sign up with my link for extra miles to start. Another important MCC that's missing is 4722, which is for online travel agencies. So that means that this card should not be used for Expedia, Agoda, Trip.com, etc., and notably Airbnb. You have to make your booking directly with airlines and hotels in order to get your 4 miles per dollar with HSBC Revolution. So this depends on whether you're someone who prefers going through online travel agencies or going direct. Personally, I've been trying to chase my Marriott Titanium this year. Okay, I'm at 62 nights now, so I've been booking direct. And I usually do a check with online travel agencies, and I find that they are usually the same price or slightly more expensive on the OTAs. So I'm happy to book with Marriott directly and get my Marriott Bonvoy perks and nights. Obviously, this will depend on what kind of traveler you are, so do take note before booking your trips with this card. Personally, this card is moving to the front of my miles cards to use list only behind Maybank Family and Friends, which of course is a cashback card, but it's very difficult to argue with 8% cashback. The HSBC Revolution will come in very useful for excess spending I have beyond my Maybank Family and Friends category limits, like online shopping, which I have already exceeded my cashback cap for this month, so we'll be using my HSBC Revolution if I still have stuff to buy on months like this. More useful will be the travel categories, and I'm already going to use it for my hotel spend this coming week. The various nerfs to DBS and UOB cards mentioned earlier in this video have not taken effect yet, but mile for mile, HSBC points are a lot more valuable to me because of the variety in airline choices, as I've explained earlier. Will HSBC extend this promo? It's anyone's guess, but what we do know is that credit cards change all the time, so stay subscribed to the Telegram to earn more from your credit cards and savings accounts, and more than 30,000 people have already joined. Also, I have done a video recently on how you should be earning miles in 2025, so check out that to get more cheaper business class flights, and I'll see you in that video.